Commission on Presidential Debates is crooked. The Commission on Presidential Debates is completely and utterly crooked. The Presidential Debate Commission has been completely taken over by Democratic and progressive, basically operatives who have no intent of being fair and impartial. They just want to push forward their candidate so their candidate can win. We've seen this first with Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace, of course, who hosted the first debate, who basically asked questions that were accusatory of the President of the United States, but never once asked questions to Biden about the important issues of, I don't know, like his son, like foreign policy. And of course, that's why we're talking about this, because now we're on the third debate. But of course, since we canceled the second debate because the President of the United States had coronavirus, the town hall took place and Biden had a town hall and Trump had a town hall. And both town halls were incredibly different. And we're going to talk about the third debate that's coming up in just a minute. But the town halls were so different that even Saturday Night Live, which normally would do nothing but attack the President of the United States, decided to make some great jokes about how Biden handled his town hall and how Trump handled his. And so we have two clips on this from SNL. They're just epic. I got to tell you, they're epic about the presidential debates. But of course, they're making fun of the town halls, SNL is. And Jim Carrey played Biden. Jim Carrey, the famous Jim Carrey. And of course, George Stephanopoulos was, of course, what is it Mickey Day or Mikey Day? I don't even know how to say his name, on SNL. And we have a clip first of the Biden town hall with Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden. And here is the clip.
Mr. Vice President, how would your response to COVID differ from the horrible one of President Trump, who I hate?
Okay, let's limit how many times you outright say you hate President Trump during your questions. Aww. Mr. Vice President, go ahead.
Okay. Now, Nicholas, where the hell are you? Nicholas?
I'm up here.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Hey. Yeah, here's the deal. Unlike the president, I actually have a plan.
Oh, okay. Great. What is it?
A plan? It's a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something.
There you go. That's what we heard during the first debate, right? Biden kept saying that he had a plan, but then he never told us what the plan was. His plan with respect to correcting and getting rid of the coronavirus. And he said that President Trump didn't have a plan. Well, SNL just made fun of it. And I have to say, Jim Carrey looks exactly like Biden. I don't know who did his makeup and his hair especially, but he looks just like him. Well, there's also the Trump town hall that SNL made fun of. And the whole SNL cold open was they would cut from the town hall of Biden and then they would cut back to the Trump town hall to give you kind of a compare and contrast between what they felt like and what they look like. This next clip does just that. It starts out with Alec Baldwin, of course, playing Donald Trump. Alec Baldwin, of course, has been playing him for years now. And Kate McKinnon is playing Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie being, of course, the crooked NBC News host and so-called reporter. But then at some point in this clip, they cut to the Biden town hall. It's just, I'm sorry, this is so funny. You gotta watch this, and here it is.
Let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? What do you say? Will you be my neighbor, George?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the Trump one. They're really going at it.
And now Savannah is telling him there's another question. But oh no, it was just a distraction. Savannah Guthrie has a folding chair from the audience and Trump doesn't see it.
Oh my gosh, that is just epic. That's so epic. I love that. And it's exactly the way this entire campaign has been. And SNL has finally pulled the plugs and actually decided to say it the way it is and show it, I mean, using humor to do so, of course, but showing Joe Biden as being this sleepy guy who really is an elderly man and acts like an elderly man and is not up to the job. And then Jim Carrey acting like he's Mr. Rogers in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And then Trump doing WrestleMania with Savannah Guthrie. It's just perfect. So this particular podcast segment, actually, it's just a short segment, but we're talking about the Presidential Debate Commission and why it's so crooked. And the third debate that's coming up was supposed to be about foreign policy. And the debate commission decided that they were no longer going to do the third debate on foreign policy at all. Instead, it's going to be a little bit about everything. Naturally, they're going to focus on coronavirus and the president's handling of it as if, quite frankly, anyone could have anticipated that China would have unleashed the biggest terrorist attack on America's soil in American history, which is really what this is. But no one wants to say it. And of course, the President of the United States doesn't seem to be articulate enough to actually talk about this in a way many times that explains what he has done, what he has accomplished, and why, and where we are with China, and where we are with the coronavirus issue. So nonetheless, the debate commission doesn't want to focus on foreign policy. So Bill Stepien, I believe is his name, it's the President Trump's campaign manager, wrote a letter to the debate commission. I'm just going to read part of this letter because it really tells you everything that you need to know about the debate commission and how crooked they have been in dealing with the Trump administration. And these three paragraphs really sum it up. And it reads as follows. The commission's pro-Biden antics have turned the entire debate season into a fiasco, and it is little wonder why the public has lost faith in its objectivity. The moderator for the first debate styled himself as a third combatant on a stage, with almost all of his venom directed at President Trump. The moderator of the second debate, which was canceled, revealed his anti-Trump bias by accidentally tweeting what was intended to be a direct message to a well-known Trump critic, and then lying that his Twitter account had been hacked. That was Steve Scully, by the way. Incredibly, the commission has yet to retract its public statement of support for the moderator's bogus hacking cover story, which resulted in the moderator's indefinite suspension from his place of employment. Finally, the moderator of the third debate now has decided to pursue topics almost wholly unrelated to the purpose of the event, which was to be focused on foreign policy. It is our understanding from media reports that you will be soon holding an internal meeting to discuss other possible rule changes, such as granting an unnamed person the ability to shut off a candidate's microphone. It is completely unacceptable for anyone to wield such power, and a decision to proceed with that charge amounts to turning further editorial control of the debate over to the commission, which has already demonstrated its partiality to Biden. This is reminiscent of the first debate in 2016, when the president's microphone was oscillated, and it's not acceptable. For the good of the campaign and campaign integrity, and for the benefit of the American people, we urge you to rethink and reissue a set of topics for the October 22nd debate with an emphasis on foreign policy. This is what the campaigns had agreed to, and it has been the tradition in past campaigns. We await your immediate reply to these concerns. We further advise you that there is no reason to consult with the Biden campaign before replying, because we all know what they think. I mean, that was just perfect. So there you have it. That is from and written by Bill Stepien, who is the Donald J. Trump for President campaign manager, saying it the way it is to the Presidential Campaign Commission, or as they call themselves more officially, the Commission on Presidential Debates. And we know that this campaign that's coming up with the debate and the questions that they're going to ask aren't going to be focused on foreign policy at all. And why? Because we have all of these revelations that have come out about Joe Biden's son dealing with what? Foreign countries. And basically compromising the United States of America's foreign policy with these foreign countries by enriching himself, Hunter Biden, and his dad and his family. There's no question about this. Everybody knows it. And so that's why the Commission on Presidential Debates can't even focus on foreign policy. They also can't focus on foreign policy for one other key reason, and that is Donald Trump has been so successful in the Middle East in brokering peace between Israel and its Arab neighbors that he has now been nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. Now, think about that. He's been nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. So how can the crooked debate commission even try to have a foreign policy debate as the third debate, which would clearly push Biden behind Trump in the polls? I am convinced of that, especially with the Hunter Biden revelations. So, without question, we have a presidential debate commission that is crooked. And that's it for this particular podcast for Mark and the Millennials. I'm Mark Fisher. I'm going to thank our assistant producer, Christopher Hopkins, and our producer, Adam Coutura. Please join us next time on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you for joining Mark and Millennials. See you next time.